What do you make of how Zach Wilson handled that?
I think it's pathetic, and I think it reeks of insecurity. One of the hardest things to do as a quarterback is get to that point where your teammates truly believe that you feel like you're not better than them. Quarterbacks always get treated better. You get special treatment because you're the quarterback, and you have to work so hard to get your teammates to believe that you don't believe that you're better than them. And one of the ways you do that is you take every single bullet. You make sure that no matter if it's your fault or not, that when you go into a press conference or whatnot, you sit there and say, it's on me. I don't care if the receiver runs the wrong route, if the interception's not your fault, if the fumble's not, I have to be better. When you lose, it's I and me. When you win, it's us and we. And the fact that Zach Wilson, and I understand that it's not easy, and Zach Wilson's exponentially more talented than I'm ever going to, or ever was. But that is the reason why a person like me somehow survived in the NFL for a long time. Because all those intangibles and the things that are so much more important than being able to flip your hips and launch a ball 70 yards over your head at a pro day, all those are more important. And I think it's very hard right now for Zach Wilson to walk into that locker room and for his defense not to sit there and think, you think you're better than us. And you think that you don't need us, because for you to say no is so disrespectful for their performance that they've had not only yesterday but all season.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak to the ecosystem inside the locker room, but I do know from reporting on teams over the years that this is a very specific dynamic we've seen play out time and time in the NFL, which is what happens when you have a good to elite defense, and I do believe New York falls into that category right now, that is losing games because of the quarterback. At a certain point, attention turns to the coaches and questions get asked like, why are you still starting this quarterback when we've had success with other ones? And on one hand, you don't want to overreact to two terrible performances against another defense in New England that I also believe is one of the best in the NFL. That said, though, we do have a pretty significant sample size at this point with Zach Wilson. So, and of course, that sample size, he's been statistically one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL, with a few glimpses of high-level play and then a couple of games like the Bills game recently where he played clean football. I do think at some point the Jets are going to have to decide this season if they want to ride it out. Not even until next year when they're going to have to really revisit it, but I'm talking about this season, Dan, because if they keep losing games like they did this week, they're going to lose the locker room.
Yeah, Joe Flacco still leads this football team in touchdown passes, okay?
Man.
And Joe Flacco wins that game yesterday.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.